I was just thinking, um, I was just thinking about the true essence of Jesus Christ, because I was thinking about him yesterday, and I truly believe that the whole story of Jesus Christ, it could be real, but if you think about it in a spiritual sense, it's all about the Christ, not necessarily Jesus per se, but it's all about the Christ. Now, Jesus could have actually exist, because if you look at the theory about Jesus, Jesus was a regular man that got into the Christ consciousness, right? So that means that he wasn't the man that he used to be. That means he changed. So that means he went from the 3D dimension to the 5D dimension. So he's a changed man spiritually, right? But they tell us that Jesus Christ died for our sins and he was God's only son, right? So if Jesus Christ died for our sins, that means he died for the earth. That means that when he died, that means everybody's sins will be forgiven. That means that he died for the world. Now, if you think about, like I said in my last video, at the way life is, do you really think that Jesus came on earth to die for this earth so it can be better, so everybody can be forgiven? Why would he want everybody to be forgiven? And we are all deaf and dumb and we are all dead ourselves just like him. And before he became awakened, what did he know before? Because what we know now is probably what he didn't know at the time. So from who the man that he was before to the man that he become after he got the Christ consciousness, what about him that really changed? Because we do know that it was spiritually. What did he see? What did he visualize? What did he see on earth at the time when his consciousness changed? Now, if you think about this on the outside perspective, when Jesus became part of the Christ consciousness, when he got in that 5D level, then that means his consciousness is really above everybody else's, except for the people that he taught. They're on the same consciousness as he is. But if he's on a different consciousness than everybody else and he's living in a world full of sin, why would he die for those people that is deaf and dumb? And why not he just die for the people that is just like him? And why do he have to die for them if they are already aware of what he knows? So if you think about life for what it is, in order for you to transition into this new world that we are seeing coming in front of us right now with the chips and Neuralink and all of this stuff, technically when you die, that means you are killing your free will. You are killing your consciousness. So could it be that Jesus Christ really didn't die for our sins? Could it be that they wanted Jesus to actually change himself and be like the others, and he refused to? So he died in being who he was? Think about that, because right now, it's a lot of people on earth that's about to change themselves to make the earth better. Because in order for the earth to get better, they're going to go through a new era, a new generation, a new way of life. So it's going to get better than what it is now. Look at the earth for what it is now. It's in shambles, right? So everybody's agenda now is to make the earth better, make it more peaceful, make it more joyful, right? So that means the earth is going to have to change. And that means you are going to have to change with it, right? Could it be that Jesus Christ really didn't die for our sins? And he really didn't die for what they had programmed us to know? Could it be that the real reason why he actually died because they wanted him to change with the world and he refused to? So he died in being himself because they wanted him to be just like them and he refused to? So he died being who he was? Because right now, me being the woman of who I am, right? Me being Ajita Stone. If I got to change the way I am, the way I think, the way that I am spiritually and physically and emotionally and mentally and psychologically, if I got to change all of that in order to live in this new world that I'm seeing coming in front of me, I have a choice to make. It's either I'm going to be in this world and change everything about Ajita Stone, or I'm going to die being Ajita Stone. So could it be that Jesus Christ really didn't die for our sins? He just died because they wanted him to change and he refused to. So he died in it. And technically, he didn't have to die for nobody's sins, because everybody else that he taught, everybody else that was under him and that believed in him, they knew the same thing he knew. So that's why I said it was millions of people on earth that was taught by Jesus. So he didn't have to die for them, because they already know what's going on. What if they already knew that the real reason why Jesus really did die because they wanted him to change and he refused to? So he died in being Jesus. He didn't necessarily die for no one's sins, because if Jesus Christ really died for our sins and we all will go to heaven, why is we living in such a demonic world that basically publicize and show nothing but evil and demonic things? Like, think about this, people. If Jesus Christ really died for our sins so we can all be forgiven in this sinful world, why is sin and evil and such demonic is hovered around us like clothes? It's like it's like Jesus died for our sins. I get it. But you wake up in sin. It's like you living in sin. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, everything around you is sin. The air you breathing in is sin. Nothing around you in this reality is for you to wake up. So if Jesus Christ died for our sins, then that means from the moment that we are born, we are already saved and going to heaven, because Jesus died for that. Why would Jesus die for that and we still got to go to church every Sunday? Why do we still got to go to church every Sunday? Why do we still got to worship Jesus? Why do we still got to do all these practices just to make sure that we is going to heaven? Why we got to ask for forgiveness when Jesus Christ already died for our sins? Think about this. If Jesus Christ already died for our sins, that means we have no sins on us because Jesus took it, right? So that means from the moment you are born, you are saved and you are automatically going to heaven, right? Because Jesus Christ died for our sins. So why do I got to go to church? Why do I got to go read the Bible? Why do I got to go into Christian and religious? Why do I even got to get to know Jesus when he died for my sins? I don't have to get to know him, because I'm born in this earth and a man already died for my sins. So why do I even have to know him when I'm already saved? Y'all, are y'all following me? So I'm thinking that the real reason why Jesus Christ died is not the reason why they've been always telling us. I believe the real reason why Jesus Christ died is because they wanted him to change. They didn't want him to be who he was, and he refused to. You got a lot of people down here that is beyond smart, that is beyond the spiritual awareness. And we are coming into a world right now where you got to be completely dumb and be under control. Now, what if you are a person that don't like being controlled? What if you are a person that's a leader? What if you are a person that don't do well under authority? But the world that we is coming into, you got to be under control. You can't have a mind of your own. So is you going to go against yourself, knowing you don't want to be under control, knowing that you don't like authority? Is you going to actually change who you are to live in this world? Or you going to actually say, fuck that, ain't nobody going to have no control over me. Or you're going to die in being who you are. And I believe this is the real reason why Jesus Christ died. I believe they wanted him to change and be a part of the world. And he said no, so he died. He didn't have to die for our sins, because he already taught us everything that we needed to know. That's what I believe at this point.